5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what is going on, comic book familia? I'm doing my favorite video. I can't speak for the man right next to me if he's doing his favorite video, but
It's absolutely my favorite, Efren. Yeah.
This is the one show that I look forward to every month. It's just me and Triple G talking, and talking about comic books, obviously. So I really enjoy this. And if you don't know the guy right next to me, like I said, his name is Triple G. How's it going, Peter?
Great, mate. Great. And I love this show. This is one of my favorite shows. I always enjoy spending time with yourself, as you know. So, but this is great because we just get to talk comics, which is what we both love doing.
Yeah, we talk comics, and it's my turn this month. We pick comic books. These are advanced orders. These are books that you can order right now. They're orderable for June, but they will be available in June and August. Most of these books are going to be coming in August. So we each pick 5 books. And as a bonus, we picked one book that we're looking forward to be reading next week. And I think that's going to be comic books that are coming out the 28th, I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but they are coming out next week. You ready to go?
Yeah, sure.
But Peter, before we go any further, I have to say one thing. Like Tony Stark and Reed Richards, you, my friend, are the smartest man on YouTube. Your content is top notch. Can't be beat.
You make us blush every time we do this. Thank you very much, Efren. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody hit and like and go to Triple G's YouTube page and just subscribe to his channel. He's got great content. And I think one of these days he's going to be on 24 hours in a row. I'm waiting for that moment.
That's the natural next kind of escalation, isn't it? That we'll do a 24-hour stream. And then after that, we'll do a 7-day stream, Efren. We'll just,
But anyways, let's get going. So we each picked 5 books each, and these are June's advanced orders. And you are up first, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, as you know, Efren, Thor's my favorite character. Absolutely adore the character. I haven't been particularly enjoying his recent run of stories, I have to say. I think it's taken a little bit of a dive for me. So this is a relaunch written by Al Ewing, who I absolutely loved when he did The Immortal Hulk. Cover art by Alex Ross. Restart, basically a picking up point of Thor. So I'm all in for this. I cannot wait to read this. I'm a huge fan of Alex Ross, but I want to ask you, Efren. I know you're a big Alex Ross fan as well.
Yes.
This cover doesn't necessarily do it for me, I have to say. I don't know what it is. It's just not. I was hoping for more from Alex Ross, to be honest. What do you think?
I was close to picking this book also, because it's the Immortal Thor, and if it's anything like the Immortal Hulk, and it's being written by Al Ewing, I went, God, if it's anywhere close to that book, it's going to be a good storyline.
Yeah.
But when I looked at this cover, I go, there's something off with this cover that I couldn't explain it. It just looked weird to me, the way his face is shaped and his shininess, I was like,
I don't know if it's supposed to represent the lightning or something, the kind of the glowing bits, but yeah, it's a bit odd. The other thing that interests us about this book is that I noticed this one and there's a few other issues released this month have all got these kind of bonus pages by Jonathan Hickman called Who Are the Gods? So that's got us a bit intrigued.
Yeah.
So like you say, Al Ewing did amazing work on Immortal Hulk. So really looking forward to picking this up. I hope he works his magic on Thor.
I just read that bonus page also, and God's, there's a period after each letter.
Yeah.
Stand for something. Yeah. Pique my curiosity. I am up next. And the reason I picked this one, this is Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest, 2 of 5. The main reason, I want to read the storyline, obviously, but this cover is by George Perez.
Yeah.
And that's why I picked this cover. Marvel for the last 2 months has been doing like an homage to George Perez, and they've been, he's been coming out with a bunch of his. They've been coming out with his variant covers, so I just like this cover, of Captain Marvel. It says and it's written by Ann Nocenti, and it says Captain Marvel meets the challenge of a lifetime. When doesn't she? When the gloom and doom teenagers tell the captain that heroics are a waste of energy on a dying planet, she sets out to prove them wrong. So I hope it's a good storyline. I believe, obviously, just the cover is by George Perez. And the artist is by Paolo Venanelli. So hopefully this is a good read. I like. Perez.
I noticed there in the cover, I'm loving the way our legs, our boots disappear into the
Yes.
stars around it. That's very cool. I
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
very cool too. That's another reason I picked this cover. You know,
And also, Efren, it's saying there that the explosive villain Nitro's in it. That's the guy who detonated in Civil War.
that's right.
Civil War, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he's got history with the Marvels because isn't he the one who gave Captain Marvel cancer?
Yeah. I didn't know it. Yeah. So hopefully it's a good read.
Yeah.
And so this one we kind of both picked. The cover on the right, the Uncanny Avengers with the Beast, and the front of the cover is what Peter picked.
Yeah.
And I went, dang it, I wanted to get that. That was my pick too. So I said, you know what? I'm going to pick the adjoining cover to this one. And this is Uncanny Avengers #1 of 5. And here we go. Alex Ross. Now, this is classic Alex Ross.
And this is my point. When I think of Alex Ross, this is what I think of in terms of the artwork.
Yes.
Not that Thor issue. It's interesting. But just to mention that Beast cover, Efren, is obviously a homage to X-Men 1.
Yeah.
I had a quick look on Alex Ross's website, and he's doing a lithograph of because that's part of a bigger cover. It does the entire cover with Magneto and Cyclops and all the rest of it. So you can get the signed lithograph for, I think it's $300.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorely tempted because it's a stunning piece. It's absolutely stunning.
See, this is my Beast. I like the way he is drawn here. He doesn't look, everybody knows, you know, my take on what they've done to the Beast in the X-Men books, which I don't like at all.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like a classic Beast here. And you said this is an homage to the X-Men cover by Jim Lee. But yeah, and actually, and the cover on the left isn't bad also. We're not going to
see it.
Yeah, but that's the Avengers. But just the one on the right is so striking to me.
Yeah. I like that one on the left because it's highlighting some characters that you don't normally see. So you've got Mantis there, you've got Yondu, Hellcat, loving her ongoing series, by the way. Sorry, a mini series. Tigra, you know, all those characters, and Wonder Man in his original jacket and all the rest of it. I love that. Yeah.
If you notice Ant-Man on the left-hand side, the bottom left-hand side, there's another Ant-Man, I think, right next to him, a little one.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Is it Wasp? It's not Wasp, is it?
I don't think so. It looks like he got a helmet on also. So I'm curious to see what's going on, you know, with that. Yeah. So don't get me started what they did to Hank Pym.
Yes. the comic itself sounds interesting. It's linked to, remember there was a Uncanny Avengers series a while ago, which was very good.
Yeah.
And it dealt a lot with Apocalypse and all that kind of stuff. And that was by Hickman as well, I think. But it had some great storylines. This is kind of picking up. The recent X-Men titles aren't good, Efren. I think we'll probably both agree with that. But this is picking up after that, where there's a Captain, is it Krakoa? Krakoa, I think.
Yeah, Krakoa,
who's causing mischief and kind of, again, causing issues between mutants and humans. So the Unity Squad is reassembled to try and sort it all out. So I'll give it a go. I'm not a big fan of X titles at the moment, but I'll give this one a go, I think.
I think the problem with me is I've been reading these comic books for decades now. So even though the storylines are bad, and I will admit some of them are bad, you know, I still read them.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's one book though that I put down. I can't read this anymore. A previous Hulk one, when he was like a spaceship. I was like, oh my god, what is going on here? I put that book down. I didn't start reading it. You know, I said, nah, I'm not going to read this anymore. You know, I didn't like it.
I think I read a couple of issues and just thought, no, this isn't for me.
Yeah, but this is a striking cover, the right one, especially with the Beast in the forefront. You know, I really like it. And you're up next.
Okie dokie. So this is a bit of an interesting one. This is not a one that I've heard of before. I haven't heard much written about it. This is Cull by Image Comics, I believe, written by Kelly Thompson. I just really like the sound of it. I'm a big fan. You got us into it. I'm a big fan of Something That's Killing the Children. Love that series. And this says it's got that kind of vibe mixed in with the Goonies vibe. Love the Goonies, classic movie. And the premise of it just kind of piqued me interest. So it says, you know, 5 friends set off on a short to shoot a short film on a forbidden rock near their home the summer before they all go their separate ways. But that's not really why they're there. One of them has lied, and that lie will change their lives forever. It just sounds interesting, you know?
Yeah.
And I like the cover as well. It's a very nice cover.
Yeah. And I mentioned to you that the cover, it looks like, to me, it looks like Emilia Clarke from
Yeah,
Game of Thrones a little bit.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's also in the new Secret Invasion show, isn't
Yeah,
she?
yeah, she's in there too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna pick this one, but you picked it too. So that's like, thanks, Peter. So, all right, I am next.
Oh,
This is Alice Never After #2. Now, this is the second series of this one. There's a first volume, and I think I read it, but I don't quite remember much. But I know it has to do with Alice in Wonderland. But she obviously it's a different type of Alice in Wonderland. She's got mental problems, and it goes from there. And this one is Alice Never After #2, written by Dan Passonian and art by Giorgio Spalletta. Alice's place in Wonderland becomes even curiouser as a newfound role changes everything for her and the unpredictable denizens of her escapism. God, that's hard to read. So, but yeah, this has been a good story, and this cover just strike me. Her eye, you can see like the rabbits in there. So she's really, they're putting her through hell, basically, you know? So
so
it's by Boom Studios.
I mean, I think this looks great. I've not read any of this series, so I might pick this up. As you know, Efren, my profession, I'm a nurse, so
Yes.
I'm used to seeing, gory stuff and whatnot, and blood and guts and things.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can't cope with is eyes. I don't know why, but this
Yeah.
thing's sticking in your eyes freak us out.
Yeah.
So that cover, to me, it's like it's setting us on edge.
All right, you are next.
Yeah, so despite us just saying that I'm losing hope with the X titles, he has another X title. But this is, again, it's a new issue, a new kind of mini series, 1 of 4, a realm of X. The reason I've picked this up is because it's got some of my favorite characters in it. It's got Magic, who Ilyana Rasputin, Colossus's sister, who I absolutely adore. Always been one of my favorite New Mutants. So as soon as I saw her, I thought, oh yeah, I'm interested in a story centered around her. It's also got Mirage, who again was a New Mutant, who I think is fantastic. You've got some old X favorites there. You've got Marrow, who I'm not a particular fan of, but I'm hoping to be generally surprised by her in this. And we've got Dust, and we've got Typhoid Mary from Daredevil, who's a great character. And this is all about these people teaming up to go to, and I'm never going to pronounce that, Vanaheim, which I think is the land of the dead. It's Norse mythology, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they go there to basically fight some bad guys, I would imagine. But for me, the draw to this is the characters. I love the sound of that team. It's got some really interesting characters in it, some who I particularly enjoy reading about. So yeah, I think that'll be really cool.
I agree with you with Magic. She's one of my favorite characters compared, basically, I mean, those are stories. She started as a little girl. Yeah. And she was taken from, Peter and his family, and, she became Magic. She spent years in limbo, correct?
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
She was just transformed, basically into Magic, So yeah, she's a great character. Yeah, I really enjoy this character. Yeah. I am next is Batman Superman World's Finest. This has been one of my favorite reads. It's by DC Comics. It's not like part of the DC history that's going on right now. It's like years in the past. So there's no continuity to this, basically. So they can go any way they want to with this. And I've been reading it since issue 1. It's a really good series. This one is the untold tale of how the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel first met. Think Superman and Batman met and became friends? Think again. It says, read the untold tale of how the worlds first collided and the stunning secret lost that nearly destroyed their partnership even before it even began. So yeah, I've been enjoying this. This is like old school comic books to me, in days gone by. And it's been a really enjoyable read. I really look forward to reading this book every month.
It's got Mark Waid writing it, so you're going to get proper old school good superhero. I mean, I'm a massive Mark Waid fan. I don't think he gets enough praise for the work he's done on. I mean, his Flash run in particular for me was stunning. So yeah, I've not read this yet, Efren, and I know you've talked about it a little while, so I need to go back and pick this one up, I think, and give it a read.
It's fun and enjoyable, Yeah. So I think one of the problems books that we know they can't always have the same writer. year after year after year, and writers leave and they want to do different stuff. They want to spread their wings, so to speak. So whenever there's a new writer, they go down their own path. And I think and sometimes they're good stories and sometimes they're bad stories, unfortunately, but I think that's one of the problems with books that, writers don't stay all the time. Chris Claremont, I think he stayed the longest that I know, like with the X-Men, he stayed there for years. And you can see, his work is so great now, but it's hard to stay on one book,
Yeah. Mark Waid did a very long, good run on Captain America as well, from memory, and that was very good.
And you are up next. Another X-Men book. Wow, look at you.
Another bloody X-Men book. This one's pulled us in because I'm a massive fan of the Dark Avengers. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
After Secret Invasion, when Norman Osborn formed his own team. And this has got a similar kind of premise. And you've got Archangel on the back there, who's one of my favorite all-time characters. You've got Havoc, who I love. And then, it just looks great. And basically this says, welcome to the Dark X-Men. Hope the world survives the experience. Following the explosive events of the Hellfire Gala, Madeline Pryor, who's a great character, really like her, realizes the world needs the X-Men now more than ever. Havoc and Gambit have served on the team before, but never one that looks like this. So it sounds really cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's got some interesting characters in it.
Speaking of Hellfire Gala, I haven't told this to anyone yet, but during San Diego Comic-Con, myself and my friends, Marvel's going to host a Hellfire Gala event, and we got tickets for it.
Oh, brilliant, different.
So that's the only one we got tickets for. We were debating whether or not to get tickets for them because they weren't cheap, and we decided to go for it. This is going to be by Disney, they own Marvel, so they're going to have an event, and we got tickets for it. So I'm going to be, taking all hella pictures, and we'll talk about it later.
So you're going to have to dress up for it, Efren?
No, I'm not. I'm going to be wearing my vest, the ones you guys say that stage by now, I'm doing that, and shorts, but I'll be taking all kinds of pictures, and we'll see how the event is there, So
very cool. That'll be amazing. That'll be amazing.
That's going to be crazy to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And I am next. This book, I can't believe it's been a year already. This is Grimm. It's by Boom Studios. Basically, it's the afterlife, and there's like Grim Reapers, but this one person, her name is Jess, she wasn't supposed to be a Grimm, and she's trying to figure out what's wrong, what led her to become a Grimm. And it's been a year. This book has been out for a year now. This is as the third arc heats up, Jess and Eddie search for an alternate portal to the internal hereafter they left behind, and a mysterious European town may be the key. So it's just been a great read. I really have enjoyed it. And how we always talk about indie books now, how much we enjoy them so much than regular books. Not that the regular books, by regular I mean Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Just in the last 10 or so years, indie books have really grabbed my attention.
Boom Studios are very, very strong on that. They do some great work.
Yeah. So, and I love this cover. She's held down by chains. You can see there, but she's trying to grab some air. But I was like, oh man, this is a cool looking cover. So that's why I picked that. And and these are the books that we are going to be reading next week. We each pick one book each, and that we're looking forward to read, hopefully. So you're up first.
I don't know what to say about this one. It's really weird, this one. So this is World Tree 33. It's written by Tinian, James Tinian III. I've read have you read the first two issues yet, Efren?
I haven't read them yet, no.
So it's really interesting. It's intrigued us. It's about basically, I think it's about, because one of those clever books that I'm not sure if I understand it rightly, but it's about this computer virus that basically, if you watch the computer screen and this World Tree virus thing gets into your head, it makes you do whatever it wants. So in the first issue, this guy kills all of his neighbors and things like that, and it kind of, the story is following him and his brother and things, but he basically murders everybody. And you've got this character who's on the cover there, who kind of wanders around the book from place to place, but stark naked, and it's very graphic. You see everything. Yeah. It's just really intriguing. It's got a bit of an X-Files kind of vibe to it. So I will be picking up issue 3 because I'm intrigued. I didn't enjoy issue 2 as much as I enjoyed issue 1, but it has got us hooked. I need to know what the hell is going on. And James Tynion is a master of his craft. He does some incredible work. So I'm kind of expecting this to just keep us kind of intrigued, a bit like Nice House on the Lake did. It'll just keep each issue will keep you kind of wanting to go back and figure out what the hell's going on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. And that's just a stirring cover. That's a variant cover.
Yes.
But it's she's a very alluring character. It's very good.
I just realized I didn't even know it was written by James Tynion, so I'm definitely going to read it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, great pick. And my last pick is Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 33. I really have enjoyed the creation of this character, Dr. Aphra, from a few years back, and I just like the way her personality is. Like, she's in it just for herself, just like to get rich, and just do things her way. But every now and then, she shows that she does have a heart and she does care about people. And they're starting, and I like it when they mix them up with characters that we've known for decades now, and Star Wars characters. And this one is Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 33. It says Luke Skywalker, a lost Jedi temple, and a grave miscalculation. Aphra has convinced Luke that she can help him find long lost secrets of the Jedi, but she has other plans for him that include Darth Vader. So like I said, she wavers between good and bad or somewhere in the middle. So that's why I really like this character.
So is this an easy book to jump onto, Ephraim? Because I've not read much Star Wars in terms of comic books. And then I got into a bit of a Star Wars kind of hype a little while ago because I went to Celebration and stuff. So I picked up Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red, and it was dire. It didn't encourage us to go out and read more Star Wars books. So is this a one you would recommend picking up?
I recommend it because, one, I said, like this character is part of the Star Wars canon now, but she sets her own path, and we don't really, she doesn't have decades of history, and she can go anywhere she wants to. She's always creating mischief for herself. She's always seems to be out for herself, but she has people that cares for her enough to to risk their lives for her. But she's been going through hell recently, and Darth Vader knows about her, and he wants to. He's after her every now and then, but at the last second, she always seems to escape his grasp.
Right.
And, she's hooked up with the killer droids. I forgot their names, BT-000, and I forgot what the other one names are. They look like C-3PO and R2-D2, but they're killer droids.
Okay.
And everybody always seems to be after her, but she's always, like I said, just to get quick rich. And she's like an archaeologist that's always out for, what she wants. And she's always like, Darth Vader's just about to kill her, but she escapes. So I just really enjoy this character. I think hopefully they'll have her in a movie or in an animated series. I think it's a very interesting character.
Good stuff.
So, yeah. And those are our picks for June. Like I said, these books are going to be coming out July. The last two books are just coming out next week. So pick them up if you'd like to read comic books. And speaking of reading comic books, Peter, you got something coming up on Friday.
Yeah, so starting a new show. We did an episode last week where basically myself and whoever fancies it go and look at the last week's worth of comic books. So we tend to focus on 5 books.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of have announced that today on Instagram. So if people want to read those ones, that can join in the conversation. And then we'll briefly touch on anything else we've read as the show goes on. Just a hour show, just talking about comic books because that's what I enjoy doing.
That's what we both enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So these 5 books that you guys pick, are these books that you've been reading all along, so you're not just jumping in on them?
No, it's totally random. Different. So quite often it's like a number of issue ones, or it can be anything. I guess the hope for the show is that it's just very loose and relaxed, and it's just nerds talking about comics.
Like the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on. You have to come on and chat comics with.
I want to, but well, we were talking behind the scenes that one of these days Peter's going to go for 24 hours straight. We're going to see. I challenge him to go on 24 hours straight. See what happens. See how much he cracks at the end. But yeah, I really like the premise. I've been watching the last couple of. Well, you've only been on like twice so far, right?
Twice, yeah.
Twice. So I was like hearing about comic books. What people have been reading, and like this show, we give our points of view on comic books. But yeah, next month we will be on Peter's channel talking about advanced orders. But until then, everybody, go out, buy a comic book, and read it. Right? Everybody, be safe and take care.
Bye.